The first day of school, like, it kind of felt like a shit show, to be honest. Most of the teachers, they weren't too great, and it was just generally kind of bad. And half of the ACs in the classrooms were all broken, so it was just hot as balls the whole time. And the temperature has just been increasing all day, and at the time of writing the script for this, it was 93 degrees. For whatever reason, I got up like 3 hours early, and I got ready just way too early. So I had to just awkwardly sit around for a while. And when it was finally time to start heading to my bus stop, like, it was so hot and humid outside that it just felt tiring just to walk to the bus stop. And just it was kind of difficult to breathe. Like, doesn't I don't know. And it just felt so gross out there because I couldn't stop sweating my ass off. And just to make things better, the bus came like 30 minutes late. And because it's a 30-minute ride to school, it came to school an hour late, which, being late on the first day, isn't really a good look for me. And also, while I was on the bus, like, every time the bus driver would stop at someone's, like, bus stop, she would stop the bus for like 10 minutes to fucking put wristbands on people and what's it called? Try to learn their name, which, just come on, man, you're already running late, get to school already. Just in the whole wristbands thing, like, she was just putting it on without asking. And she like, oh my god, when she put it on me, she put it on so tight that it was cutting off my circulation, and I couldn't get it off because it's like one of those like paper ones that are impossible to take off for whatever reason unless you cut it. And it just pissed me off so much. It was so uncomfortable. So my first period is art, and the teacher, she seemed pretty nice, but like, what I've heard about her from other people is that she's kind of a bitch. So, like, I don't know, but she teaches art, so like, that's kind of goated. And she seemed kind of chill, but that could also just be because it's the first day, and like, on the first day, all of the teachers seem kind of nice. I mean, it was kind of surprising that she was chill in the first place because of what I've heard about her, but it's also still early in the year, so I'm gonna have to, like, wait a bit to see what she's actually like, if she'll be good or bad, that stuff. Okay, so, second period is, agri-science. And I had this class last year, and the teacher is, like, super goated. And I like the teacher, but I don't really like the subject. Just, agri-science is just boring, but it is an easy grade, so it makes it a bit better. And there's also a bunch of people in this class who seem pretty cool, so maybe I could try and talk to them, maybe make a friend. But I also don't know. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not really good at starting conversations, and I noticed with a bunch of people in my school, like, they seem pretty cool, and then, like, after a while, you start to notice that they're not cool. They're, like, really problematic and stuff. So, like, I don't know. Oh, my math teacher is so fucking annoying. I know it's the first day and all, and it's kind of difficult to tell if the teachers are good or bad, but I can already tell that this teacher is a bitch. Not even one teacher, there's two of them, and both of them seem like bitches. I was drawing during the class because we weren't even doing anything other than listening to one of the teachers yap about, like, the school and stuff about her. And the other teacher just makes me put the sketchbook away for no reason, and just goes on a tangent about how I need to start paying attention in math or else I'm going to miss something critical and they won't go back because there isn't enough time to, and I'm going to have to stay back from the grade and me. Like, bro, the fact that the other teacher likes gummy Skittles is not important. Also, just like both of these teachers are old ladies, and you know they'll be a bitch when they're an old lady. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but almost every teacher I've had who is an old lady is a bitch. Also, they teach math. A lot of the math teachers I've had are just really really mean. And I also had lunch in this period, and lunch was just so awkward because there was people who I knew in there and all, but like I'm not like friends with them. We're just like acquaintances, and I just didn't know how to start a conversation. So most of the time, I was just awkwardly sitting there. I mean, I talked a little bit, but not a lot at all. I really hate this period. So this class was kind of odd but nice. But when okay, so the AC broke or something, and the temperature in the room was so bad that for the day, all of this guy's classes were gonna be in the library, and it just caused a bunch of confusion between everyone because it's the first day and all, and everyone's still trying to figure out stuff. So like we go to the library, and what's it called? It looks like there's no one in there, and then suddenly, like, the teacher opens the door, and I nearly got smacked in the face with the door because I was trying to look through the window, and the first thing that he points out when he opens the door is this one pin that I have that says I miss my wife on it, and to that he said, "Oh, that's a nice first impression," which I can't really tell if that's a good or bad thing. He said that because the AC was broken in his actual classroom, it was 103 degrees out in his classroom, and it was so hot that the posters in there were falling off the wall, and the floor was wet because it was humid as hell in there. And the teacher seemed pretty chill, the class was pretty chill and quiet, and I was able to draw without a teacher bitching in my ear, so it was overall a pretty nice class. I don't really know about this class. It was pretty difficult for me to tell if the teacher here was gonna be good or bad. Also, it just had like a lot of basic people, and the teacher was just being a little odd about names, and she kept repeating the fact that names were super important, and how when she got married to her husband, she didn't take her husband's last name, and also went on a little tangent about how her kid has never had a tardy or absence at school ever, which I just found a little weird. Her room was also hot as balls because guess what? The AC was also broken in there. So you want to know what she did? She brought in 2 industrial fans, and it was still hot as hell in there. And the class, it just felt like it lasted forever. I kind of hated it. This teacher, he seemed like nice, but at the same time kind of strict. I don't really know how to feel about the class since half the time I was zoning out, because like all of the teachers have been saying the exact same things about like lockdown protocols and like school expectations, dress code, all of that. They the admins all said to the teachers every single class period, you must go over the lockdown drills, and me. But like, I'm really sick of it, so I just wasn't listening the whole time, and I got put in the back with a bunch of bums that I'm probably gonna be stuck working with for a few months now, which isn't very fun, but whatever. Other than third period, this class had to have been the most bullshit class ever. It was genuinely so dumb. Like, the teacher wasn't even there. We had this annoying sub, and the sub got mad at us because, like, everyone was talking over the stupid slideshow that all of the teachers have been reading, like, all day. Like, everyone's sick of it. No one wants to hear it anymore. And just the class was so loud, and the teacher just kept yelling at everyone to stop, or else she was going to call admin down to the classroom because they were being loud. And she got mad at one of my friends for talking, even though there was literally people screaming and yelling while we were talking at like a normal volume. And it doesn't even matter, because it's the end of the day. No one cares. Just shut up. And then, like, she kept like talking about how she was gonna get yelled at if we didn't shut up, which I don't get that. Why would she be getting yelled at for something that the students are doing? Okay, whatever. She was just so annoying, though. And, like, by the end of that class, I had such a horrible headache, and I just felt so drained. Like, I just wanted to go home. So, at dismissal, most of the kids were already gone because the car pickups, they leave at the first dismissal bell, which is super early. And even then, with most of the kids gone, like, she still kept yelling at the class to shut up, and my headache was just getting worse and worse. And then once the bus riders were dismissed, over half of the buses weren't there, which is a big problem because, you know, it's 93 degrees outside, and over half of the school is a bus rider. And just, it was just ridiculous. And they made all of the kids sit outside in 93 degree weather just because the buses were late, and they wanted everyone to take a seat on a bench because there's like a bunch of benches outside at the front, even though there wasn't enough benches for everyone to sit because of the amount of kids waiting for the bus. It's just like, sit where? Me and a group of people got yelled at to sit when there was literally nowhere to sit. It was just so overwhelming and so crowded, and I had to sit there for almost an hour until my bus came, and I didn't even get home until like about 6 p.m. because the bus was so late. It was almost an hour late, and then also the 30-minute bus ride. And then like in the middle of the ride, like, well, not in the middle, it was more toward the beginning, this stupid bus driver pulls over and wastes like 10 minutes calling people's names, trying to learn their names for whatever reason. It's just like, why are you doing that right now? Bring us home. You're running late again. Come on, get the job done. And then my mom called me worried because she thought something happened to me. Because, like, you know, the bus was supposed to get to my house like an hour or two ago. But, yeah, that's all that happened. Well, that's all I really have to say. Thank you for choosing my video out of all the videos out here, and have a wonderful day or night, and enjoy the rest of the spade paint.